Hello friends, welcome once again. I'm here with a continuation of our unit 2 of Victorian poetry. In the previous video we did Four Furious Lover. In continuation of that, Robert Browning's poetry here, Fra Lippo Lippi. Fra Lippo Lippi. Fra, a title given to an Italian monk, states Fra means brother. Fra Lippo Lippi is a monk who has been involved in some un-monk activities. He was trying to trespass in a house. The watchman of the powerful house, Medici, those who belong to aristocratic Italian family, the powerful merchants and rich bankers who ruled Florence in the 19th century. They caught him while he entered and partying it on the streets. So they started interacting as well as interrogating him with regard to his status. But this drunken Lippo is only trying to make them to understand his life story. But in fact, what he is trying to tell is not able to be understood by the watchman. And we also understand what Lippo's life and his history. He starts from the time he was a poor orphan. He was an orphan, exactly duckling it out with dogs in the street for their leftover whatever food. He grows into an artistically gifted monk, that at least he has a stable roof over his head and food that he gets into his belly. The other monks of some higher rank don't like this Lippo's behavior, that he was very often making people fools. They think it is too realistic, that it does not give proper attention to what is really important, the soul and glorification of Almighty God. Needless to say, Lippo does not agree to show that he is a rebel with a cause. He becomes annoyed, he becomes restless, confused, and he sneaks out at night parties, enjoying the company of many women, those who are ill reputed in the society. Throughout his drunken status, rambling and confusing life, Lippo tosses in some of his own prophecies about art and its process of purpose, and how his ideas differ from those of the church and even his powerful supporter Cosimo Medici. It is hard to please both himself and his different masters, but here he is working on a painting that will be a masterpiece according to him. He informed to those watchmen, those who caught him at Medici house and trying to convince them by speaking that there is another young man at the monastery who is going to grow up and act just as he does. He is not an eccentric or unconventional. Lippo continues to convince against those monks. After some time, he started feeling regret and nervous about what he has said. Lippo does not want to get into trouble with the church authorities. Lippo tells in this poem, through this poem, to his listeners that he has a plan to get back in the good graces of the church. He is going to paint a large, magnificent painting of God, the Madonna and child. This painting definitely will also include a self-portrait. Lippo's guilt recedes at this point and he jumps into an entertaining narrative regarding the painted version of him and how he will be able to spend his time with the angels in the heaven. He thinks that he will achieve the heaven. He will enjoy the life with the great hope. Let me, friends, continue to talk on a sonnet written by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Sonnet 21. She is wife of Robert Browning. She begins her sonnet 21, say over again, and yet once over again. Very simple sonnet of 14 lines. In this poem, poetess is asking her lover to be more open and free to express his love for her. And she asks her lover, don't be silly in expressing nature, spirit, or self-praise of the poetess. Continue to observe in the sonnet that she expects her lover must love wholeheartedly and openly. There is no reason to fear too much of a good thing, so do it. Voice your love, say again, but put not all your love into how you express it, but how you feel it as well also. Elizabeth Barrett Browning, as a poetess, she is reporting through this poem in a giddy and excited manner, somewhat out of her character. In this poem, she is requesting to her lover to continue his repetition of the words she had long craved to hear again and again. She is in the process of changing her attitude from timid to self-assuredness. Poetess is becoming more habituated to listening to her loud, to her beloved, to express love for her. Thus she is instructing him to tell her repeatedly that how much he loved for her. This poem shows, although she wants to be told in words of his love countless times, she also believes that he should love her without needing to say, but he has to love her in silence. If he loves her with words, he should also love her in silence. And she should feel that her lover should love her in both ways. Elizabeth Barrett is stating how she wants to get her love in many ways, telling how she wants to hear, listen it repeatedly, very often, as she want to hear from her lover. Very simple sonnet, friends. Interesting also. There some people we can see, those who sometimes they may not be having confidence on them, that whether they are really loved by their husband or lover or not. But quite possibility is there sometimes, insecurity. Anyhow, I wanted to continue with another poem written by Matthew Arnold in the same unit 2 of Victorian poetry. Friends, Matthew Arnold's poem is on the surface about a merman. The title of the poem is The Forsaken Merman, about a merman who has lost his wife, a human turned into mermaid. What actually mermaid? A mythical sea creature with the head of a woman, a beautiful woman, and the tail of a fish, Jal Kanya, like fish beauty, conventionally depicted in a beautiful manner, and with long flowing hair, golden hair. She turned into mermaid. The merman, who also equivalent to mermaid, who looks him, who loves his wife very much, but she left him and their children and returned to life among the common people and in the service of the church. This maid started living like human and came back on earth, on the surface of the earth. But husband and children are trying to call her back under their surface of water, that is in the sea. Merman attempts all kinds of ways to call her back, but she did not return. She has chosen the religion over love. She wanted to serve in the church. There are three fundamental messages that can be seen in this poem. Within this poem, the first is the power of love. Even though the mermaid has acted so heartlessly in leaving her family, husband, and children, but her husband longs to have her back. He is waiting that someday she will come back. The next theme is one that plays a part In many of Matthew Arnold's writings, the lack of civilization, Arnold describes the land life above the surface of the water as somewhat unruly land, a place with only religious structures and religious scriptures. However, both inside of the church and under the waves of the ocean, there are two lives on the land, under the water. Two lives are existing in this poem. Life is calm and tranquil. Hours in the church are spent in praying, while underwater time is spent enjoying life as a family. Merman with his children living and enjoying happily in the waters. Here mermaid who came on earth, she was busy in praying Almighty God in the church. And major idea in this poem is the conflict between the religion and the love and emotion. It would seem that this woman, mermaid, gave up all her entire life to be with the man she loves, even if he is a merman who lives in the ocean. As it turns out, she is not quite willing to leave her religion behind, religious mentality, in other words. On Easter, she is granted permission to go back on land to attend the church services. However, after the services, she continued to sit by the doors of the church, and she does not want to return to her family when they call her back. In this way, Arnold is expressing his belief that emotion such as love cannot coexist with religion. In this poem, the first, second merman, Margaret, name of the mermaid, wife of merman, probably ignores her husband, children, because they are a tie to a life that she has decided to leave behind. Merman tells his children to call their mother so that she will come back to home again and she can live a normal life with them. Merman is looking forward one day or the other. Mermaid may definitely come to his home. Friends, very simple poem. The poem between mermaid and merman. As I explained you, the conflict between love and religion. Hope you would have understood this short poem. I just wanted to continue another poem written by Dante Gabriel Rossetti, because this is a revision lecture. Whatsoever that comes to my mind with my students, how I was discussing with them, sometimes asking questions, expecting answers from them. Very fine. It is where really I am missing my college, my colleagues, my students, feeling. Anyhow, good days will come back. everything will be normal. Better days are ahead. Let me talk on Dante Gabriel Rossetti's poem, The Cloud Confines. In this poem, the cloud brings rain, moisture, hail, snow, wind, and gives shade. It is infused with great energy of electricity, like thunders, storms, which acts as it guides in the form of lightning, accompanied by thunders. When the cloud covers the rising sun, many a time we can witness that sun was covered by clouds, invisible. It causes its beams to be spread out over the sky. Sun is trying all with energy to come out of the clouds to show his beams. At the evening, cloud floats over the setting sun like a bird. At night, the cloud provides a thin covering for the moon also. Where the cloud cover is removed by the wind, again, winds takes the cloud out of our eyesight from moon and sometimes sun. The cloud provides a thin covering also. Where the cloud cover is removed by the wind, the moon and stars are reflected in the earth's bodies of water. The cloud under certain conditions forms a ring around the sun and the moon also. During the storms, the cloud spreads across the sky like a roof. At other times, the rainbow acts as an arc of triumph for the cloud to march under. The cloud form in the sky draws its substance from the earth and water below it, and is part of never-ending cycle is which it alternately disappears and reappears. The water evaporates with the help of sun, forms like clouds in the sky. With the blessings of Almighty God, when the clouds clash, we call monsoon. Definitely we expect monsoon. If winter comes, spring before, behind it. Let us hope that good days will be there. Today is very hot weather, humid weather in Mumbai. By next month this time, hopefully there will be rains. And again everything will be all right, let us hope. Friends, this revision lecture, hope you will definitely enjoy it. I am really happy to associate myself with you to talk. Since as a teacher wanted to speak a lot, much with the students, talking with them, discussing something or the other. Today we are confined or contained, but days will not be like. Definitely good days will be expected soon. Thank you for being with me again and again. I will meet you in the next video on Thomas Hardy's poem, Channel Firing. Channel Firing. Very nice poem. It is like a prophecy that comes true. Have a nice day. See you shortly. Meeting with you. Bye bye. Bye. Have a good day.